As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
Oh, welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff Iafrate and Booner. It is Wednesday, December 10th, the day of the doc. We'll have John Maakaron on today. I bet he's going to have a little more pep in his step today. There's something that tells me he'll have a little more pep in his step. Michigan State alumni. We'll talk to him. Sherrone Moore fired from the University of Michigan for basically, I guess, what would you call it? Sexual misconduct, I guess, would be the word for it. We'll break that down. The story's still developing. To be honest, minutes and minutes go by. I mean, there's just more stuff that keeps coming out. So we'll break that down. We'll talk some Lions Rams. It's a packed show today, and as a Michigan man, Boone, today was a very news-packed, jam-packed, eventful evening for Michigan fans all over. We got plenty in the chat as well. It was a crazy day. It's wild.
Insane day, I'll tell you that. What an interesting, I would say, interesting last 4 or 5 hours. There is still so much going on with the Michigan news and the Sherrone Moore news that just feels like it keeps coming out. And obviously, as we are talking right now, Sherrone Moore has obviously been detained by Saline police, and he got handed over to a different police department, or who knows what. It sounds like all allegedly that I don't know if, again, allegedly, I don't know if he's going crazy. I don't know what's going on, but he has been detained or arrested. Me and you were trying to figure out the difference between those two words, but it sounds like potentially, I did listen to a couple things. It sounds like there's a chance that maybe he went to the person that he was having the affair with to her house, trying to speak with her or something. And he, I don't know if Jeff, if he like threatened to kill himself, her, I don't know what it was, but there was something obviously that happened there, and he got detained. The police were called, and then he got detained. So that's going on at the moment, which is, I mean, I think at the, like as a Michigan man, Jeff, we have to, you have these moments where, hey, you win a national championship, celebrate, but you also have these down moments, man. And it feels like a lot of these situations happen here at Michigan sometimes, whether, you were just saying it before, all of the different arrests that have happened over the last, since 2015, there's like 7+. There's just a lot, and this is just an unfortunate situation that's going on with Sherrone Moore. I don't know. Listen, like there's nothing, and I'll tell Doc can hop on here and try and victory lap all he wants. There's really nothing else to say. Like there's things to say about it. We can talk about it, but in terms of like trying to stick up for the guy, any of that, like, hey man, like you have one of the best. I told you, Jeff, before the show, like Sherrone Moore had one of the best football jobs or coaching jobs in all of football. Like this wasn't like he just had like a Central Michigan coaching job. No offense to them, love the Chippewas,
which he was there
Chips, at one point. Which he was there at one point. Shout out our guy Spencer too, that cuts our hair.
Finance coach there.
But like this is, the University of Michigan. You had the head football coaching job, and this doesn't seem like it's something like, hey, a one incident thing. This seems like it's been something that Sherrone's been, I don't want to say, again, all allegedly, that he's been doing, whether it's multiple women. I saw multiple tweets of the guy Jack Mack from Barstool being like, he follows all of these OnlyFans models on Instagram. And it sounds like that's an issue. Like there's just like, it's adding up, and it's like, man, if you're the head coach at the University of Michigan, like, dude, lock in. Like this is all stuff you should not, like, obviously him being married and having an affair, like that's not morally, that's not right. Like you have kids. None of that is morally right. Like that should never happen. On top of that, dude, like you represent Michigan. You represent these kids that you're coaching, their families, like the alumni, your fans. Like you represent a lot of people. And for this happening and coming out, it's honestly, it's ridiculous, man. He's kind of at his fault only. He's ruined kind of his life. And it's just, man, this is one of those moments in sports. You cover sports and you're like, this story is crazy. Like, I can't believe, like, if he just got fired because they sucked, which I've been pushing for him to get fired for the last 2 months, it's insane. But all of this stuff allegedly coming out and happening, and it's like a whirlwind of like, here we go again. Cheating scandal the last couple of years, the Connor Stallion stuff, and now all of a sudden Sherrone Moore gets fired for allegedly sexual misconduct with his assistant, like his assistant, direct assistant. That it's insane. It really is. It's a shocking situation that's happening right now, to say the least.
Yeah,
and it's developing like currently. We just keep getting more and more news about it.
We'll break it down. It's like the old saying, what's done in the dark always comes to light. Stuff like this, no matter how long you're able to hide it, it is always going to be exposed. Especially in the position Sherrone Moore is in. He, like, you nailed it. Everything you said is so true. He is the leader of a locker room of young men. More than that, he is a father of 4 children. I'm not going to get too much into that's his job to kind of take care of the personal life stuff, more of just what it means for, Michigan going forward. But just a lapse, I think a lapse of judgment isn't even doing it justice. It's so much more than that. You had one job as the head coach at the University of Michigan, one of the biggest brands in all of sports. Your one job is to keep.
I'm not laughing at this. I just saw the doc tweet at you. I don't know if you saw the video, but for the situation that's going on with Michigan and the Sherrone Moore stuff, the doc using this video that he used as a tweet. I'm sorry, dude. You got to share your screen and show the people. It's just like, just not now, doc. This is a big story, man. This is, man.
Let me see.
It's hilarious. I'm sorry. I did not mean to cut you off on that one. I was my laughing. I was hoping you didn't see me laughing. I was trying to cover my face. It's so funny, man. It's I don't know. It's an insane story. I'm interested to see what happens through this.
And here's the fuck. I mean, what are we doing here, Doc? I mean, this is.
You look so funny, dude. That is so good, dude.
Yeah, look. I mean, man.
The funny thing is this is at like 8 a.m. in the morning.
I mean, it looks. Yeah, I mean, I stand out like a sore thumb, man.
Oh, dude, I mean, it's so good. Where did the doc get this video too, man?
That was when Matthew Stafford won the Super Bowl.
Adams little his victory lap. I love it.
Like I was saying, Sherrone Moore, your one job, keep your dick in your pants, and not just that. Listen, whatever you do, I was telling you this on the phone. Obviously, the biggest issue with this, as you did it with a staff, you're basically top assistant. It's like the assistant to the head coach, I guess. That's kind of what her job is. I think her name is like Paige Shivers. That was kind of her job in the whole ordeal, is like his assistant. That is obviously a big no-no. They knew what they were doing, clearly. That's a bad thing for both parties. It's a bad look in general. It's bad. If you're good, even if you were doing this with some random girl, which apparently it's been reported. I mean, this is a public information. You go check Sherrone Moore's following on Instagram. There's a lot of females he's following. I highly doubt this is the only time. That's a theory. This is my opinion. I think this one is just much bigger because she works so close with him. I think if he's doing this stuff, I believe, again, my opinion, this isn't a fact. He's been a serial cheater, man. Like you can get that vibe from this. I just, based 100%. On everything, this is just the feeling I get. There's more to this. And clearly, I mean, everything that's kind of happened after this, and ESPN came out with the article, which I just want to read some of the information, because now apparently he's been detained by Saline police, which is not obviously not good at all. But it says here, but by the way, this article was Dan Wetzel and Pete Thamel. So I want to make sure I give them credit. But
hey, Pete Thamel, by the way, bum.
Yeah, you have always been consistent with that. Here's the article. So Sherrone Moore was detained by police in Saline, Michigan on Wednesday, and was later turned over to a second area police department for investigation into potential charges. So this is the statement that the department said when they released it to ESPN. The City of Saline Police Department assisted in locating and detaining former University of Michigan football coach Sherrone Moore. Mr. Moore was turned over to the Pittsfield Township Police Department for investigation into potential charges. It doesn't say what those potential charges are in this article, which I know you've kind of hinted at what people have been reporting on it, but it does say, what he was fired for, conduct with a staff member. It was in the statement that U of M put out. It says here, U of M head football coach Sherrone Moore has been terminated with cause effective immediately following a university investigation. Credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. The conduct constitutes a clear violation of university policy. The U of M maintains zero tolerance for such bad behavior. Calls to both the Saline and Pittsfield Township Police Departments have not been returned. So that it doesn't say in the article what he was arrested for. That's all like information.
Feels like it's kind of a wait and see what happened. And obviously there are stories out there. A lot of people were putting out there what the story allegedly could have been and why he got arrested or detained. I don't know, the detain arrested. It feels like it's the same thing at this point. The man's in police custody at the moment. That feels like arrested.
Yeah. I was explaining this to, it's like, so basically detaining is you're being held by police because of suspicion, and arrested means you're being charged with a crime. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I just feel like at this point, like he's in custody.
If they're investigating charges,
gotta be arrested, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I've seen both. I don't know.
By the way, too, I just saw someone in the chat said, "Oh, I didn't know that he was multiple women." We don't know. Like, obviously, it's not confirmed that it was multiple women.
That's my opinion.
I think what Jeff was saying was more so. It's like, hey, if you're doing this with one person, there's probably a chance. And there have been people that put out reports and said, like, hey, look at his Instagram following. Like, the man's following 1 million. I think I saw a tweet. It was Jack Mack at Barstool. He said he's following 1 million college girls, and he's following 1 million, literally not 1 million, but a bunch of OnlyFans models. It's like, this guy is like, obviously he's, it shows like, hey, connect the dots to a point, right? And it sounds like that there potentially maybe is other things out there that have happened with him. I don't know. It just feels like this guy, he's like, if this has happened, you would think that there's more happening behind the scenes. Like, this isn't the only, which sucks to think, because it's like, dude, like, you have a family, kids. This isn't like,
well, the unfortunate part though, Boone, is they, to be honest with you, the family, they're the victims. Like, they are the ones that now the story, because it's such a big brand, now this story's basically national. It's a national story. They are punished for something they didn't even do. Now the children, you don't think everyone knows that she's the wife of Sherrone Moore, your dad Sherrone Moore. Like, now you embarrass your family. Now let me just get this very clear too. There's two different things we're talking about here. One of them is the potential charges for whatever happened. I don't have clarity on what that situation was. I don't know. I know people are speculating in the chat. I don't know what those charges are. And then the actual misconduct, which, by the way, is not illegal. I want to make sure that's not illegal. It's two consenting adults, whatever. Yeah, you could say he's a piece of shit for cheating, but that's not illegal. But it is a big no-no. It's one of the only there's not the only thing, but that's a big thing. As a head coach or any person in that type of position, you cannot do under any circumstances. So it is stupid. But yes, the charges stem from something else that I don't know. You would know more probably looking at information than I do. I don't know I don't know why.
And it's one of those things where, again, we had the conversation before the show, like thoughts on especially even like the second kind of part of this story where, he starts to kind of crash out a little bit, and it seems like there was a massive crash out post situation or post firing, to where he goes to this girl's house allegedly and kind of goes crazy a little bit. And like the thing with me and you that we had conversation about was just like, man, like, first off, what he did, obviously it's not an illegal thing that he did, right? Like, cheating is not a good thing to do, but it's not illegal. Like, what he did isn't like, hey man, you're going to jail because you cheated and you did this, right? Like, he got fired because it was a staff member, right? Like, that's why he got fired. It was a staff member. And like me and you talked about, it probably was like, obviously in most jobs you have, it's in your contract, like, hey, this is not allowed in our building
Yep.
instant,
Can't do
termination.
it.
The problem was another problem too with it that we talked about was like, dude, like people are going to make mistakes, right? Like there are a million people in this world who cheat, get caught, things happen. Like, right. You go through, I don't know, people go through lapses and all that. It's like the reaction to it as well. Like, I think that's another thing to pile on it with Sherrone. It's like, man, like I think you said it the best. It's like, man, like you got to face that kind of as a man. Like I made that mistake. That's on me. Take responsibility for it and kind of move forward and figure it out, the next steps of it. But the kind of crash out of it is like, that's where, and obviously like if there were the signs of he's getting, detained because potentially he was, threatening to take his own life and that, like, yeah, that's sad. As a human, you don't want to hear that. And that's not good to hear. But to your what we talked about before, I'd say, man, you got to be able to just hand up on like kind of face that as man, just hand up and say, hey, that's on me, man. Like, so yeah, it's a tough. I feel for the side of like, hey, man, you should like. I don't ever want to hear anyone going through that and crashing out. It does happen. People do go through things and don't handle it well. So hopefully everything's all right. I guess with all parties, every party involved.
Yeah. That's the problem with not just the Sherrone Moore situation, just in general, speaking to just people. I mean, there's people that are listening. Accountability is a non-negotiable for, I think, mainly you see it in as a man, a non-negotiable. You have to be accountable. That's just something you fuck up. It is what, okay, own it. You messed up. It is what it is. Deal with the consequences by a decision that you decided to do, right? Whatever it is. So it was clearly a decision that Sherrone Moore, I don't know what he was thinking, but he decided to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, accountability that's just like, to me, a non-negotiable. And I don't know, again, all the details. I hope Sherrone Moore figures out and kind of settles everything with what's going on with his mindset. I don't know where he's at mentally. But at the end of the day, it's like you put yourself in this situation by the decisions that you made. It's like, what would you tell a player for Michigan that was in a situation like this? You would say, hey, man, you got to be accountable. You're a young man. This is what it is. You got to practice probably what you preach. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this whole thing, but it's let's be real here. Sherrone Moore was probably going to get fired at some point. Okay. He was going to get fired at some point. It's just the way in which this kind of went down is just terrible. It's bad PR for the university, obviously, and it's bad for Sherrone Moore. Will he get a head coaching job if he gets his crap together and, somewhere? I mean, he'll get a job somewhere at some point. I mean, but yeah, it's just, it sucks. I mean, imagine, like you said earlier, I think you nailed it with this. Like, imagine the players' families that send their kids to that school. It's like,
yeah, dude, that's always, I think, a big thing in college. I don't think a lot of people realize when it comes to some of these things. Like when I was at Saginaw, like when you recruit, man, like you meet players' families, like not just moms, dads, but you meet grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, like everyone, right? Like, and they trust you. Like those kids, man, they're leaving the house for the first time and they're going out on their own to live. And, in the back of their minds as family members, like they trust you to take care of their kid, right? Like, you're now their guardian. And for him, like Sherrone, obviously you have all these different coaches, but like Sherrone's like, hey man, you're taking care of my kid. And like you just had signing day last week. It's like, and then a lot of people too, I could be wrong with this. A lot of people are like, well, Michigan did it on purpose to fire him a week after signing day so they could get their recruits. I'm pretty sure with this situation, I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty sure a portal, a timetable opens back up for a lot of these kids to make a decision to leave or not. So that sucks for Michigan too, right? Like they're probably going to lose some of these recruits and some of these players. And I believe there's like when a coach gets fired like this, there's like an extended, I think I saw it was a 15-day period, Jeff. But like all those kids that signed last week, like all of that, they're trusting Sherrone Moore. Like he is the head of this program. He is the head of the organization of Michigan football. And like making mistakes like that, like, dude, that is, and now that I think about it, like just kind of going through the situation, like the stuff with Harbaugh, when it comes to the cheating scandal, the Connor Stallion stuff. And then you get into now the Sherrone Moore stuff. I could be wrong, Jeff. And maybe you can, hey, Boone, this is wrong right now. Like this is a moment for Ward Manuel in Michigan to kind of recover from everything and start fresh without all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, put all of these scandals, everything with the Harbaugh, all these people who have got arrested with Harbaugh, put all of this behind, and like, you got to go out there and get a new coach that can lead this program, that has proven himself maybe somewhere, who you know can run an absolute organization, and it's a start. It's a new start, a fresh start. Like, that's how I look at this now. And it's like Sherrone was kind of like the last leg of the Harbaugh stuff, right? Like that, like he was suspended for this. Start fresh, man. Like, you just clean house. Like, you don't hire within. You don't do any. You go out and get someone new that's just completely like has proven that he can run an organization, and you let him run with it. And you don't you try and keep this thing as clean as possible going forward, because there has been way too many issues with this Michigan football program when it does come to whether you think people did it or not, this or that. There's just been constant issues in this Michigan football program with different scandals, DUIs.
There's been more like there's
had 7 arrests since 2015.
There's been
from
more
staff
talk
members
around Michigan post national championship outside of football, or at least things that should not be discussed, than actual football. Like,
yes.
Like that should not be something as a university. Like, that's like, and I agree with you. I think this Sherrone Moore stuff, it's like, now you got to hire in somebody that I think is a little more just a absolute culture setter, someone just a completely different type of identity, not different type of identity, meaning like, they don't embrace like Michigan tradition, but someone that would come in and be like, hey, get rid of everybody in this freaking building. I'm bringing in my guys.
Yeah. And like, obviously
out the stench here. Okay. Cause all those DUIs since Jim Harbaugh was hired, all those, you have a guy watching, I don't think I could say it on YouTube, but you get it. Bad crime. Yeah. Who was arrested, his computer there's so much crap off football, man. It's so bad. It's obviously you still want the Michigan culture when it comes to like the history of Michigan, right? You want that. So you want someone that understands that, but you need a fresh, like, you just can't, like, the scandals and all the stuff that's happened, and like the fact that Sherrone is in the building, like, you had a guy leading your organization and program that in the back of his head thought it was okay to be doing this stuff. And in the real world, it's not okay to be doing this stuff. But he is the fact that you are the leader of one of the biggest football programs in America and in the world, and you're trying to go out there and talk to women that aren't your wife when you have 3 or 4 kids at home. So it's just like it's a time. I think this is a moment for Michigan football and Michigan athletics to try and, like, all right, let's fresh start, man. Like, let's bring someone in here. I have a name. I've posted this all day today. I think I was the first one to tweet it out, and then I started seeing other people tweet it out. Before you get to it, I'm going to get to these super chats, because actually I want to dive right into that conversation. ABC typed typical U of M. Appreciate the $2. ABC donated another $5. He says U of M never holds themselves accountable for any negative actions. They always deflect and blame the other party. Okay, I can tell what side of the fence he's on here. ABC, appreciate the $2. Says they should all leave and not commit, referring to all those recruits.
Can I say something real quick to the deflecting and all of that, by the way?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think a lot of these people are like Michigan State fans who are saying that. I don't, and I think people are like, I saw Jesse earlier say the same thing. Are you going to keep deflecting it? Like, I don't know a world where it's like, just open your ears up. No one is deflecting. It's all over social media. It's all over national media. As a Michigan fan, me facing it head on and being like, this is a terrible look. Like, I've seen I'm in probably 3 or 4 Michigan group chats of people in the media and different things. And all over time, I was how dumb and how stupid and what's going on at Michigan right now. Like, this isn't a deflect. The problem is like, for Michigan State fans, it's like instantly being like, Michigan fans are going to deflect again. I haven't seen one deflect. Haven't seen one. It's like, what are you doing, Sherrone Moore? This is the dumbest thing of all time. What are we doing? We need a fresh start. Ward Manuel has to get this thing figured out. All of that, like Jesse in there. You guys do love the moral high ground. You guys do love it. No one's had the moral high ground here. You just say that to say that. No one has said it.
No, but he's saying in the past, people have
in the past. Well, you're saying that in the past, but guess what? You can't say that, because right now there's no moral high ground. Michigan right now is down. Like, maybe we're winning games, but like and I got a text from Flannel Sam, and he's like, I don't know if I can read it, but I'll give I don't know if he wants it out there. But he essentially just said it feels like Michigan right now is Michigan football is becoming the laughing stock right now of college football, and that's what it feels like. And there's
but under who? Ward Manual.
Exactly. And that's where it's like that has to get figured out. And like there's no moral high ground. There's no like all this stuff that Michigan State fans are in our comments or online trying to like none of that's happening. Like there's no blue wall with what's going on today. There's nothing. This is happening. And it's like you got to face your consequences as a Michigan fan. You do, as a Michigan program, you do, and Ward Manual does. And you got to figure this thing out, man. They really do, because it's one thing after another for a program and a school that just keeps getting things that just national media attention for all these different things. There's no blue wall. We just keep getting hit with things. Just keep getting hit. And this is like there's nothing that you can say about it, man. This is a bad thing that Sherrone Moore did, and then the way he reacted to it was terrible. So it's just from top to bottom, man. Like if you're a Michigan State fan listening and in the chat right now, being like, "More," there's none of that. You're just saying that just because you're used to saying that. Welcome, welcome to 2025, where Michigan fans have to face it, and there's no more moral high ground.
Do you even trust that Ward Manual can hire a head coach? I mean, do you have faith that he can even get it right? Is the question. And he's going to have to. They should have influence from like some of these massive donors that are like they should be pushing him to hire. Go on. Who do you think? Because they should be pushing to hire a better head coach.
Well, my thought process is like Larry Ellison, like these guys who are putting a lot of money, even like Dave Portnoy, who has a big say. Like, I think you got to get a group together of donors and people who bring in all that money for NIL and all.
What did LSU? Remember LSU said it.
The governor did it. But the governor picked the head coach.
Remember, LSU was like, he ain't making that decision.
The only reason the governor did it is because they're, I think, the only state school in Louisiana. So he was able to step up and make that decision. Obviously, I don't think it's the same case for Michigan.
No, not the governor,
but I think if you're Ward Manual or you're the president of the university, you step up and be like, all right, we're going to get a crew together of a panel of 5 to 6 people, which typically they already do. Like I remember at Saginaw when they would hire new coaches, they would pick 3 or 4 coaches that are already in the athletic department, and it would be a hiring committee. So I don't know if that's how they do it at Division I programs. I don't know. I know at D2 there's hiring committees. If I was them, go get a hiring committee with Larry Ellison, Dave Portnoy, Tom Brady. You know, like go get like the elites of the elites. And go out there and get your head coach. My head coach, like who I would want, because I think the number one thing right now is culture, right? Like I think getting a real culture.
By the way, I see the chat. When I said can Ward Manual hire a head, I meant a football coach, because Dusty, obviously they're Michigan basketball.
Oh yeah,
that's what I meant. I didn't say. I'm going to clarify that. Continue. Sorry, I'm going to make sure I give credit there. Sorry about that.
People are mad that I said Ellison and Portnoy. I mean, those are people who give a lot of money to the program.
Yep.
Right? Like you're looking at people who put money into the program, and you have them go out and make decisions. You don't let Ward Manual be like the final say so. That's it. Like you don't. So the people who are doing it, that's what it has to be. By the way, our guy calling me the Walmart Wolverine, that's like the worst joke of all time. If you know me, I think that's like the lowest of the low of jokes within Michigan State. So I think it's the dumbest thing of all time. All right, let's move on. Who do I want as the head coach, Jeff? I think there's one person. It can be John Gruden. I think John Gruden. I tweeted it out. I might have been. I think I was the first to put it out there on Twitter. If you go back and look, I think it's the first. But John Gruden, the man, he was with Michigan this last offseason. He went and watched him practice in Tampa for a couple days. On top of that, I saw a tweet today. I wish I could credit who it was. Hold on. Let me go see. I can credit who it was. This man, Jeff, I'm going to pull up the picture too. Let me get credit to credit. Mr. Michigan. Mr. Michigan fan.
Yeah. I'll let you go, because I want you to get a whole spiel in before I respond.
Do you see this from John Gruden? football player, whatever this is, after graduation, he would like to become the head coach of the University of Michigan, Jeff Iafrate. That's John Gruden right there. And if you're talking about building up a legit, like, hey, we need to get culture back, we need to set a culture. John Gruden said that he wants to be, like, he would be a college football coach. If we're talking about a guy that can set a culture and can connect with players and bring in a legit staff, think about who this man would bring in for like an OC and DC, who would recruit. Like, you talk about Deion Sanders recruiting because, you know, people know, hey, that's Deion. You don't think players would be like, that's John Gruden. That's one of the greatest football coaches of all time. Like, that's John effing Gruden. Super Bowl winner.
Two things. One, John Gruden is an elite offensive mind. He is a guy that he's easy to connect with. You're watching him at Barstool. I think you've gotten to see another side of John Gruden where he's personable. He's you're starting to see more about the personality. Two, this is where I'm playing devil's advocate. With everything we talked about for the first 30 minutes of the show, with everything surrounding Michigan, all the bullshit, do you think Michigan would take that risk and hire John Gruden, who literally is not in the NFL because of one of the biggest controversies in the last couple of years?
Why wouldn't you? If you had an opportunity to bring John Gruden in?
I get what you're saying. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Do you think that's something that Michigan would probably think about? It's like,
but then it's like
we're firing a guy because of a scandal, and we're going to hire a guy who was fired because of a scandal.
But then guess what? But then when you start asking people around football, like, hey, these emails came out. What is he like? Like, is this bad? Like, and then you start talking to like football players. You're like, no, this is like the best coach I've ever been around in my life. And you start asking players that are like, no, this is like the greatest dude of all time. Then you start to really know who John Gruden is.
And you bet that Dave Portnoy would definitely putting in his 2 cents.
Oh, he's already tweeted out, like, give me Gruden. He works for him. And Portnoy is one of the guys that gives money to this program.
I'm just curious if that would be maybe a disqualifier if they're like, ooh. How would that
No,
look?
I think obviously that's part of it. I think that's part of it.
The coach he's a great coach, but you just from a PR standpoint, Michigan's probably
that. I would say I think at some point, like, dude, at some point, right, like, John Gruden's going to have a head coaching job here soon, whether it's college or NFL. He's going to get another opportunity. If you're the University of Michigan and you have an opportunity to bring one of the best to do it, that's won a Super Bowl and has built cultures up, he's kind of a perfect guy to do it. Another name too, I think I'm in a group with you with someone, our guy Pat. He texts like, who are a couple names. The second one, by the way, too, Jesse, like, can we just Jesse, can you stop playing the victim? Like, isn't it funny how Boone and Jeff won't admit there's many scandals going on in athletic? We've literally said it under war. Like, our main point is, like, what's going on over the last at Michigan is insane. I mean, Jeff, am I crazy? This guy just keeps playing the victim. He just keeps tweeting.
Jesse threw me in there.
Like, Jesse, today is a show, Jesse. I am finally on your side. Stop playing the victim. I am on your side, finally. I have crossed over and have admitted to it. Finally on your side, Jesse. You could stop with the bit. We're here. Jeff and I are on your side finally. Enjoy it, dude. Jeez.
I gotta see this Sherrone Moore stuff is just.
Is there more happening?
I don't know. There's a lot of. I don't know if they're confirmed facts or not. That's what gets me.
What have you seen? Or I guess I don't know if you can say if it's not confirmed.
Yeah, I don't want to say it because I don't know if it's confirmed, but it's just here's the chart. Okay. See, this is tough. I see like charges came out.
And by the way, like, Jesse, like, I can't. It's funny how you try to do the moral high ground. Jeff, am I crazy? Is there any moral high ground with what we're doing today? I need you to lock in with this. I'm trying. I need you. Yes or no?
No.
What's happening? Are you hearing me?
Well, chill out. You did it to me earlier. I was an open take, and
I know, but I laughed. Yeah, okay, that's fair. I'm just trying to say, like, it might no.
No, you're not.
I'm trying to be pretty sensible with all of this, to be honest.
Yes, you are. I was trying to see if this is real or not because it's good information for the show. That's all.
Is it?
No, I'm not going to do it. No, I don't know if it's real. This guy's coming at me. I mean, right in the middle of a take, he chuckled.
For backup, and you're like,
I need you to lock.
You're like stuck in a trance over there. I'm asking for backup. I need my partner. It's like I'm out there, and me and you are like police partners, and I'm in a battle, and I'm like, look back, like, where's Jeff? And he's like in the back eating a donut and drinking coffee. I'm like, hey, I'm in a shootout right now, and you're just like, yeah, hold on, I got some really important information. I'm like, dude, we're in a shootout.
But I'm over there with a bullet hole already in me from earlier when we got into another shootout. So I got shot already because my partner wasn't there.
Fair
so,
enough.
We're taking bullets today. No more high ground from Boone today. I mean, it's been pretty. I think everything I've seen, people have been pretty transparent, I guess is the right word. I think
it's honest.
Today I've definitely not, but I want more of this stuff to come out because apparently the threatening to unalive himself. I don't know if that might be true. I've seen it a lot. I've also seen like Spenny's in our group chat saying stuff, and there's so much stuff that I don't even know if true or is not. It's just.
Oh, I see. Yeah, this group chat.
Yeah, like I want to bring it up if
Which part though?
Look at can we just show this and say we don't know if it's true?
I don't know. The one that Brady sent? I don't know. Probably not.
This is crazy. I kind of want to show this. I don't know. I kind of want to show this. This is kind of crazy. Well, I don't know. Apparently, from the information that people are putting out, that we don't know if it's true. We don't know if any of this is true or not. We're just reacting to stuff that we see on social media.
I mean, College Football Daily tweeted it out. They have
a screenshot of the text.
They essentially took the text and put it in a tweet.
Should we just show? But maybe put.
Do you see the tweet?
No. Did you send another tweet?
It's in the group. It's in our group chat. I'm sorry. This is bad.
Oh.
This is bad reporting for us out there. So I apologize.
No, well, it's good because we're not trying to be irresponsible. We're trying to be smart. I don't. We don't want to. Obviously, that's our number one priority. We're not trying to just spit a bunch of bullshit out. But here's what is being put out. Again, we don't know if this is true. We're just reading.
Everything's alleged as of now.
Sherrone Moore, it says here, Sherrone Moore went over to his mistress's house right after he was fired and allegedly threatened to kill her and himself, held a knife to his own neck. He started stalking her after he reportedly got her pregnant. I don't know what
So listen, this is just me trying to be an investigator. Just like, so he was stalking her after he had her pregnant. Didn't she work for him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If this is true.
So the first part's essentially what I said earlier.
Yeah, he's going psycho. No wonder. Well, let's be real here. Let's try to connect the dots. We don't know if this is true, but if he's being arrested and trying to be charged for something, this would make sense. This is something you could charge an individual for. Okay? Again, I don't know if this is true, but if he's being charged for something, this would line up.
He had like one of the worst.
This is how you get arrested. I mean,
literally, yeah. If you threaten to kill someone, and if you're going to threaten to kill someone, you're going to jail. He just had like an all-time crash out after he got fired today.
I mean, that's a scare. I'm telling you, man. If that's true, a man that has nothing left to lose is a scary dude. Like he lost his job. If it's true, lost his job, dream job probably, lost his family. Like that's usually that breeds some scary things that can happen. Okay. Yeah. So, getting him detained or getting him in custody is probably better just to protect himself. That would probably be the best case if that's.
Man, what a
if this is
crazy
all true.
situation, dude.
I mean, I just
what a
can't
nut
believe-
situation.
I don't understand, dude. It's just like this. I don't know.
They're just like it's such a bad like that. You know, it's like I don't know, human aspect. It's like, man, like hate seeing people go through stuff, but it's just like,
Yeah, it's like it's like the human. We're all humans. Like we feel bad. I mean, you do. I mean, no matter. I said it earlier. Like accountability is a non-negotiable for every man. I think for
sure.
every human, but we're human. Like, of course, you feel
Yeah.
bad. Like,
I mean, we've all had people that have done things in our families or friends that, you know, and you're like, okay, like,
yeah, like
I feel for him a little bit, but it just, he's done it to himself, right?
Yeah, he's done it to himself. They're all self-inflicted decisions.
Also, can I just say another name too, real quick, that I want to throw out there? John Gruden. And I would love to hear some names that you think next Michigan head coach. I would love to hear people in the chat if you want to drop them. Another one that I like, and I think I actually spoke with you about this last off season, because I've been on the get Sherrone out of town thing probably for, I don't know, since he's been hired. Me and you had a conversation, I think, over the offseason, Jeff, about Kenny Dillingham. Did we not? I'm pretty sure I remember having the conversation with you after he went on that run at Arizona State. And I think we talked about just how good of like a young coach he is, up and coming. And one thing that I said for Michigan, it's like, hey, one thing I would actually like to see is a young coach who has gone out there and kind of in a program that's not like a big program like Michigan, has proved like, hey, I can go do it with this, right? And like you look at Arizona State, they probably have half, if not even less than that NIL as Michigan does, right? And everything. And he went out there and took him to a college football playoffs in his second season there, right? Like coming from the OC over there in Oregon, and then he goes to Arizona State, year 2, boom, college football playoffs. And I know this year they haven't been great. He had, I think it was like 8 or 9 wins. So there was a little underwhelming based off of what they've, you know, he's done in the past. But I think Kenny Dillingham, man, like if you can prove, in my opinion, if you can prove you could take a mid program and take him to a college football playoffs in this and in the NIL transfer portal era, man, like I always say, like, what can you do at a place that has a ton of money and actually has that level, right? I think Kenny Dillingham would be one of I would put him at the top 3 of my list, up there with John Gruden.
I keep seeing Jed Fish.
I've seen Jed Fish a lot too. I think I'd rather have Kenny Dillingham
just because he was, he's a great coach.
Yeah.
I was reading, someone in the chat said earlier, he's coaching the same school he graduated from. I'm pretty
Kenny
sure
Dillingham?
he's an
yeah, he is. It's his alma mater. Yeah.
So that's always not that. Again, it's Michigan, bro. Like, of course.
Yeah, I mean, if you go out there and say, "Hey, we'll give you $90 million over the next 5 years," he's leaving instantly, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
if there's a guy you fall in love with, you can outbid anyone and pay, right?
Yeah, like Jed, because Jed Fish was the he's been all around, dude. He had a cup of coffee. He's been in the NFL. He's been in college football. Obviously, he's the head coach at Washington, but he also was back. He was with Jim Harbaugh at one point at Michigan. He was the quarterback wide receiver coach, I think. So Brent Key, Lukas Klotz. Brent Key would be a perfect fit. That's Klotz's pick. The old Georgia Tech head coach. So there you go. There's Klotz's suggestion.
He's at Georgia Tech right now. He actually did have a good year.
Georgia Tech's just been. You notice them over the last couple of years? They're just scrappy.
Yeah,
they always overachieve. So I mean, that's not a bad one.
I just want I want like one of the younger guys or a guy like a Gruden or something. I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to get like you know what I don't want? I don't want like an older guy who's been in the business for a while, who is just like you know, like the John Morton type style, Jeff, where you're like, well, why hasn't he had a job? Like there are guys like Jed Fish, I don't know how old he is, but he's been in the business forever, right? And it feels like he's just now starting to have success. And it's like, why? Like, why is he just now having it? Is he lucky because of the spots he's been in? What is it? Is he just having a good run? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I want like Kirk Cignetti, dude. I mean, he's like an older guy who just had a run, and now look what he's doing in Indiana. Imagine if you go get Kirk Cignetti from Indiana and be like, hey, we'll give you $100 million. Come to Michigan. Indiana's not paying $100 million. You could do what you're doing at Indiana. You could win 10 national championships at Michigan.
Well, they said he said he loves it there.
Oh, he would love it in Ann Arbor.
Let's bring on our friend. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper. We'll see you in a minute. I've interrupted the video to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper in the new promotion they have going on. A brand new promotion is now live on Sleeper that could be paired with the 100% deposit match promotion that's already been going on. It's a free $20, no deposit required, plus first-time users will also receive 100% deposit match up to $100. Use the code CT Sports. You guys should already be using Sleeper. It's one of the fastest organically growing fantasy platforms in the entire world with millions and millions of active users. They are crushing it. And if your state allows it, you should be using Sleeper Picks. It's a real money product that connects friends over picks. You just choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame live or across different sports. Pick more or less than the predicted stats. And on Sleeper, you can get up to 1,000x payouts. Share with your friends. Get rewarded together. Don't forget, code CT Sports. Get a $100 deposit up to $100, and you got your free $20 entry. Sleeper is taking care of their customers. Always remember, gamble responsibly. Now let's get back to the video. All right, let's have our good friend John Maakaron, the doc. We love him to death. He's a great friend of ours, and he's actually got a little extra pep in his step today. I know he does. I see him over there. He's smiling. He covers the Detroit Lions. He does excellent work. Excellent. He's one of the best in the business. You guys should be checking it out already on All Lions. And also on top of that, Detroit Lions on SI. Read the articles. Check out the content. Listen to his podcast, Lone Wolf's podcast. He's crushing it. The guy doesn't take a day off. Our good friend, Mr. John Maakaron. John, how we doing?
Fellas, man, what an interesting news day with the Lions and then the subject you guys were talking about. So I did some reporting. I did figure out, so I was at the Lions, so I had my phones, I had my sources out. Sherrone Moore had a chance to get away with this. He had a chance, but unfortunately he used letterhead to try to get the conference name changed to Big 10 inches. Once that went out,
I thought you were serious for a second.
Once that went out, the management of Michigan was like, Sherrone, we cannot call the conference Big 10 inches, but he was serious. And it kicked off an investigation last week, and Michigan's and Sherrone Moore's in a heap of trouble, man.
I was ready to take you serious, have a good conversation today, Doc.
With me? Oh, come on. No, you got the wrong guy. I'm sorry. It's a free-for-all. Sherrone Moore had the best job in America. He got away with cheating. He couldn't keep it in his pants. First of all, listen, I don't want to be the bastion of how to do this kind of stuff, but memo to all rich guys that can't keep it in their pants. There is a thing you can do. You can pay for it. And when you pay for it, the thing that gets you away with it is you pay them to leave. You don't pay them to get knocked up allegedly or have all these issues. There is a free cheat card out there. These men are stupid. Mel Tucker, Sherrone Moore, all these powerful men that can't keep it in their pants. There is a way to do all this kind of stuff where you can cheat, be a freak, and keep your job. You just pay for it. Shell out a little cash and have the lady leave and do your thing. An assistant, that is such craziness to hear someone throw it all away. You got people that trust you. You got people that, didn't you learn from Mel Tucker? I mean, my God, these coaches do not know how to really lead in any sort of way. And it's embarrassment to Michigan. Now all this is coming out because he's got to face the consequence. He's probably for the first time like, wait a minute, cheating is wrong? I was told by Ward that it was all good. I was told by all the rich people that I'm all good. But now when you cheat on your wife, allegedly, now you're going to get caught and now you're going to face the consequences. So look, Michigan's better today than it was 12 hours ago. They're hopefully going to clean up their program and find somebody that can focus on football instead of inappropriate sexual actions. It's really embarrassing, but it is funny at the same time. And if you're looking for some serious coverage, I'm not the guy because I'm laughing my ass off at this whole thing. First of all, Mel Tucker could $90 million. And it's really simple, guys. I mean, my goodness, the choices these men are making is quite ridiculous that they get so distracted by women that they can't focus on the things that are most important. Millions of dollars, leading a program. I mean, Sherrone Moore got handed an opportunity of a lifetime, and he couldn't figure out a way to do this kind of stuff in private. The great Bill O'Reilly, I got 1,000 books here, and one of them I read was so amazing, and it was Bill O'Reilly, and he said, listen, we're all freaks. We're all closet freaks. We all want to get down. But he's like, listen, Don't be so open about it. Keep everything behind closed doors. Keep it with your family. Keep it with the people that you know are going to be safe. If you are in a marriage that doesn't have the freakiness that you like, you have to leave. If you got 4, 5, 6, 7 kids, whatever it is, you got to leave. We all have needs, but not above work, not above responsibility, not above millions of dollars. And for Sherrone Moore, it all came crashing down. And guess what? In the end, like you said, Jefe, everything in the darkness is going to come to light. And my goodness, Sherrone Moore is a freak.
Yeah, Doc, before we, because I know Booner's probably, I do want to stay on the Sherrone Moore stuff and kind of pick your brain on it just in general. But I have you seen, I mean, there's still stuff developing. There's still a lot of stuff we don't even know is actually, it might be true, might not be. I don't have confirmation of that. You don't go to me for reporting, so I don't have the information to confirm it. But you got Sherrone Moore being arrested for allegedly trying to break into the Stafford home, I guess is what I'm reading. Where do they go from here, Doc, with their head coach search? Who's someone that you think that Michigan should be looking on their radar as of right now? Booner and me kind of talked about some names, but who is the name that comes to you in your mind that the Wolverines should look into?
Yeah, this is craziness because the timing, you could have had higher end coaches. I mean, the people that everybody's talking about. And look, in the end, karma is a bitch, and Sherrone Moore is now realizing, oh, well, you know what? You were still part of an organization that was run shady, and now your actions, you are not above the law. You are not above reproach. You are not above the fact that, hey, when you mess with your family, listen, you can beat the NCAA. You can gain favor from podcasters and Walmart Wolverines and people that just will love you no matter what. But when you mess with the misses, oh, forget about it. They'll bring you down in 2 seconds. Bigger men have fallen to affairs and things like that. So I would think maybe this would be the wake-up call to Michigan State and Michigan to run a clean program. You've gone down the well of embarrassing the entire state with these actions. They're like going tit for tat. We got one scandal. We got another at Michigan. We got one scandal with a coach at Michigan State. We got one with Michigan. Quite embarrassing in regards to really leadership at the highest level of college football. So now, the names that people are talking about, Duke coach Manny Diaz, Cleveland Browns offensive coordinator Tommy Rees is somebody that's young that could develop a quarterback. I mean, look, you got to have an offensive mind. You got to have somebody that's going to develop. Hopefully Bryce Underwood, if he still wants to look at that program and go, what kind of shit show did I sign up for? I took $2 million to sell my soul to an organization that does this, that hides things and acts like this. Is the money really worth it? Go somewhere where they actually throw the football. Go to an institution that runs an offense. You're going to wait another year. Next year's a wash. The first year, you're going to have a bunch of people in the transfer portal. You're going to have to deal with a bunch of chaos. But, the names, Jesse Minner, I like as well. Kalen DeBoer is the name. Like you said, Jed Fish. Just the number one thing clearly is going to be a leader of men that can run a program. And hell, if you want a winner, just shock the world and go to Ohio State and get Matt Patricia. Somebody that could also rile up the fan base and be like, hey, I just coached a national championship potential defense and come out here. But listen, in my humble opinion, outside of the jokes, I think you need an offensive mind that can come in here and tear it all down, revamp that offense. And this is not 2005. This is 2025. Your quarterback can never throw for under 100 yards. Yes, you can incorporate a run game, but at the highest level, if you want to compete to win a national title again without cheating, you got to throw the football. And if you have a quarterback that has an arm like Bryce Underwood, the lack of statistical prowess that he had this year was quite embarrassing.
Yeah, Doc, I want to ask you here with this whole situation now. I think obviously a name that keeps popping up with Michigan is Ward Manuel. How do you think this whole thing with the AD goes? Like, you've had a million scandals since like 2015. How do you think? Do you think he needs to be gone? What do you think they do?
Yeah.
Or what do you think they should do?
I mean, really, in the end, it starts at the top, right? If you overseen this whole thing, you had so many coaches that have show cause that can't come back. You had the whole situation with his car, and all of a sudden the basketball player's in it. And why is he in your car at allegedly at 2 past midnight? What's going on there? You realize that there's so much stuff that reeks. And I just think that if the university wants to reclaim some shred of dignity, then you blow out Ward Manuel and you start over and you find somebody else that can at least hire an individual that is not going to be so brazen in their action and in a way that this whole thing really, when you guys look at it, the timing of it is gross. After the Ohio State game, it all, you ran your investigation while this was all going on. This was something that people were whispering behind the scenes quite a bit for a little bit of time about Sherrone Moore and his actions. And I was just wondering, the crazy part about this whole story is many people felt like Sherrone Moore was just a fall guy anyway. And there was the university was looking for anything at all to move on from him to get a higher profile dude. He weathered the storm. I do believe he was the fall guy. And the university's like, oh, we get to fire him with cause. Yes. And now they get to upgrade. So I do think the organization, Michigan, has to kind of get back to the true semblance of leaders and best. Listen, universities will veer away from that quite a bit to win. But when you do that, you besmirch the respect and the way in which people view the program. And I do think it's time to kind of just start over, find somebody at the top that can clearly continue the great relationships with the money people and put together a football program that can have some level of respect and dignity. And right now, this is the furthest thing from it. Sherrone Moore is an embarrassment to that program. And unfortunately, he's the final piece of that crappy puzzle that was with Jim Harbaugh.
Well, we'll get to the Lions here. I do want to pick your brain on some things here, Doc. And the first question I do have for you is your reaction to the big news that happened last week, Brian Branch going down with the Achilles injury. Just kind of how significant is that for this team for the rest of the year? And Booner asked, he brought up a good point too. Does this affect Brian Branch's potential future with the Lions when it comes to offering him a contract? Two-part question. First, just how does it affect the team? And then two, does it affect him getting a contract with the Lions?
Yeah. And listen, man, it's unfortunate. It was a good win. Man, the Lions are in a really unique spot. I mean, they got to win, and this is a big test. But unfortunately, it's hard when I hear all these people say, hey, this team can win 4 in a row. Who's going to survive? Like, you lost Brian Branch. That's a big deal. You've lost Sam Laporta. Terry Arnold's going to have surgery tomorrow. The injuries keep piling up, and the defense is now prone to big plays in the secondary with Amik Robertson and DJ Reed being just a little bit undersized. You saw what CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens were able to do. So I had the vantage point of seeing that whole play develop and seeing Branch stand there with the trainers. It was just a sad scene. And here's what the NFL world is talking. You can go check out Lions on SI today. I highlighted it. Some NFL insiders have been putting out information. First and foremost, most people believe, right, and it's going to be well-deserved, Jahmyr Gibbs is getting paid, capital P-A-I-D, paid over $20 million a year. He's going to get the bag. He's earned it. He's going to take up a bunch of money. Brad's going to give it to him. He's going to happily, gladly hand it to him. Faster than Sherrone Moore drops his pants, Brad Holmes will get the money to Jahmyr Gibbs as soon as the season ends. So now you got 3 others that are eligible. Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch. You probably are going to obviously prioritize Gibbs. You wait and see what Jack Campbell does. Sam Laporta as well. I do think they may wait. The key is going to be Brian Branch. I do think that Branch might also fall victim to the opportunity to kind of have him go through the entire season and see what I mean, think about it just logically. Can you invest north of $15 million a year in somebody that's coming back from an Achilles? Unfortunately, the regime and the Lions have seen a player in Tracy Walker that had the same injury, and he slowed down a step, and he was basically not the same player. You have to see if he's the same guy when he comes back. So it's real unfortunate for Brian Branch in that I think he's going to be the last of the priorities. And you also, guys, when you look at Jack Campbell, the man is earning every penny that he's going to get. But I do think that one of those guys maybe just has to fall in line with playing on a rookie contract, 5th-year option. Maybe that's Sam Laporta. But I do think that probably I would prioritize Gibbs and Jack Campbell and look to figure out how to get as much money together and wait and see on Laporta and Brian Branch. It stinks. Doug, that's how it goes.
Yeah, no, we've had this conversation a couple times this week. It's brutal for a guy like Brian Branch, who's potentially one of the best in the league, going through something like that. I do want to ask you though, offensive line, like let's just stick with the Detroit Lions. Offensive line wise, the whole thing with Miles Frazier and then obviously Christian Mahogany potentially coming back, Tristan Colon. How do you see them kind of rolling with this process here? It's something we've talked about. We've been trying to figure it out. When Christian Mahogany comes back, do they just roll with him? Do they think Miles Frazier can kind of take that left guard spot over, or is he going to be a tackle? How do you see this whole thing panning out here, Doc, with those guys at that position?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Listen, Mahogany had an okay season, but there were still some things that he was giving up when he was there. So the offensive line has struggled to have consistency throughout the year. I do think they like the rotation of Cologne and Miles Frazier right now. And it was funny. I liked the new Detroit News asked Dan Campbell directly, did Miles Frazier show you enough to be a starter? And Dan was like, guys, come on. That's a little tough for me to say because he's only had so much experience. So you got big games ahead against some good defensive lines. So I like the way that they've kind of steadily a couple series here and there, but also Miles Frazier acclimated well. If he shows growth, it's going to be true competition. Tristan Colon is a safer option. I do think they trust Coyote Awosika a little bit more, but I think the best way to describe it at the current state, based on all the reports you hear from the real sources, they're going to use a rotation and different matchups will predicate different opportunities. But right now it's a true competition and it's going to be open. Miles Frazier, I do think is in the back of the line, but if and when Mahogany is healthy, he's the starter. But he's got to be out there. It's going to be a couple weeks. It might not be, until, maybe the Vikings game on Christmas to get him back, get his legs under him. And he just got back to practice today. But it's a good problem to have. You have some guys, you have some depth there, but they got to produce at the highest level. And right now, I think Mahogany gives you the best chance. But Cologne and Frazier did an okay job against Dallas, opened up some holes, and they utilized the Lions. The good thing is that when they do have these role players in, they are trying to find ways to highlight them and get them to utilize their strengths. So I'm okay with the rotation, and so far so good, at least coming out of the Cowboys game.
Yeah, just staying on the safety room as a whole. They signed some guys, Doc. Damonte Kazee, Jalen Mills. They got Eric Hallett, Lauren Strickland. We'll see. Thomas Harper could play. Kirby Joseph's the big question mark. What are your thoughts on some of the guys they brought in? A, and then B, just what do you think about Kirby Joseph and the likelihood he plays? And could it be a bigger injury than maybe people think? Because he's already been out 6 or so weeks, Doc. I don't even know if you'll get the same Kirby when he comes back.
All right. They want to try to get him out there as soon as possible. Was limited in practice today, getting out there. But look, you need as much help as possible. Kazee is interesting. Mills is interesting, but they're veterans and they clearly have been shuffled around. So if you can find a diamond in the rough, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for any opportunity in practice to see bodies, in essence, to go out there and fill roles, to practice and compete. But I do think that, what stunk was Thomas Harper was doing a good job. So unfortunately, he got the concussion. But you look at it and you say, okay, if you can get Kirby Joseph back, all right, I think you stick with a veteran that's been playing and actually has been somebody that Dan Campbell said has put out fires, and you see it on film. Avonte Maddox is a good player. He's a guy that's played with the Eagles, a player that is gritty, that is around the football, understands it. You can maybe even bring back Rocky Sin in regards to playing safety. He's had experience there. So first and foremost, you need Kirby Joseph back. He's a ball hawk. You hope. You just got to figure out whatever it's going to take to be able to get him back. That fills one problem. And then I think you go with the veteran Avonte Maddox and you see if in a couple of weeks, if any of these guys, Kazee or Mills, Mills was on the Texans. You look at his stats. He started one game and he hasn't been doing a whole heck of a lot. Kazee is interesting, but that guy's got a wicked story. He's had suspensions. He's aggressive. He's a headhunter. So that guy has had himself a storied little run there as what they can bring to the table. But in the end, guys, no one's going to replace Brian Branch. It's a big loss in the back end. He was violent, aggressive around the football, and he represented the physical prowess that was the Detroit Lions defense. It's a big loss. It's a huge loss. And you're just trying to find any avenue to be able to compete back there. And I'm hoping that down the stretch, and you guys remember that still with the win against Dallas, the numbers kind of indicate you're about 40 to 50% odds. It's a toss-up. And they can win all the games. Guys, they could lose all the games. That's how crazy it is. Remember, injuries, you have another short week after the Steelers game, you play on that Sunday at 4:00, and then you turn around and play 4 days later. That's a mental grind. You're going on the road on Christmas. Who knows? Maybe, number 9 wakes up again like he did the one time against the Lions and figures out how to play the quarterback position. So this is craziness with the fact that the Lions are a decent team that could win 10 games and not make the playoffs. That would be sick. But listen, this is a big week, and I do think you're going to get the Rams are going to get the Lions' best shot. I'm just curious, is it going to be enough?
Hey, Doc, I want to ask you, like, with this offense, because obviously versus Dallas, they put up 40 points. They looked really good, and then it seems like they're up and down all the time, putting 40 up. They currently are the number 1 offense in the NFL when it comes to points per game. How do you feel Dan's been doing with play calling? We've been going back and forth the last few weeks, and it feels like every time, Dan looks good play calling, the next week, there are some struggles. It seems like he might be still trying to figure this thing out. Is this something where you think, hey, eventually he's going to get this down, and then going into next year, he's going to want to do this full time? Or what's the sense that you're getting with that offense and Dan kind of at the helm of it?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you know me. I don't like to pat myself on the back, but on your airwaves last week, to a T, I described how the Lions game against the Cowboys was going to go. A lot of pundits,
You did, Doc. To be fair, you did, Doc. You did.
Collective was thinking that potentially the Cowboys were on a roll. And I said, wait a minute, everybody, step back. Wait a minute. Let's play the disrespect game for a minute. This is Matt Eberflus versus Dan Campbell. And my little brain was firing off synapses going, wait a minute. Dan Campbell should outlast Eberflus in a heartbeat. So go back and look. I highlighted it to a T. I told y'all what was going to happen to a T. And here's the deal. There are some nasty, bad defensive coordinators in this league. And Dan has the advantage over the likes of the Commanders, who suck, and the Giants, who suck, and the Cowboys, whose defense sucks. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. You curb stomp the teams, but also remember that MCDC also faced an Eagles team in the conditions and got a little predictable and wasn't able to do his thing. So I look at it from the perspective of, I don't think he likes doing that role. I think that he knows he's good at it. He can be very good at it. I think that we want him to do it, but I think that he wants, if he was able to see that he could find a guy to call plays in Ben Johnson, he has no problem turning it over to somebody. The problem is there's nobody smarter than Dan Campbell. Nobody's going to know the intricacies of this offense as good as Dan Campbell. So he's done a good job. I asked Jared Goff, and the fastest answer he could give, he's doing great. And I do think that Dan Campbell can call a hell of a game. First and foremost, JMO's been activated. Gibbs has been activated. More players are involved, so you love that. 2, you're able to figure out ways to be a little bit creative to get the football spread around. You're able to mix and match play sets that are really going to help you. And the scheme is fine. It's one of those deals where I just think that, against better opponents, you got to be a little bit less predictable. And in the finer moments, collectively, we love Dan Campbell's offense. 3rd and 1, you maybe are willing to, use Gibbs instead of Montgomery. The little intricacies, the willingness to be aggressive to a fault in games when you're 0 for 4, 0 for 5, 0 for 6 on 4th down. And also, Dan said it on the radio. The way the schedule's been, the talent, the way the practices have gone, they haven't been as crisp on offense. They are making too many procedural penalties. You had Miles Frazier with 2 false starts. There's still some things that got to get cleaned up that I think if he were given that up might not be as much of an issue. Because remember, guys, the reason Dan brought that up on the radio, since October, it's been a team that's been win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. They haven't stacked wins in 2 months. That's not good. And part of the reason is Dan is, maybe not as involved in a lot of the aspects of practice because he's got to be involved in game planning, working on some things in practice. And so nobody is Superman. Something has to give. And you're starting to see a little bit of the discipline fall by the wayside. You guys know the Lions. They don't have that many mental errors in these games, but it's been consistent. And I do think he wants to give up the play calling. Unfortunately, it's a tough job, and he struck out twice in his choosing of offensive coordinators.
Well, to kind of, I want to stick and go to the other side of the ball here, because the pass rush, you mentioned turnovers, which they were able to do, force fumbles, interceptions. They got sacks against Dak Prescott. Obviously, he put up a ton of yards. The defense has given up 30 points a game over the last 3 weeks. Not ideal, Doc, so they're still giving up a lot of yards, but they are being more opportunistic. But in your opinion, AQM 3 sacks. I keep saying the guy turns into Lawrence Taylor every couple of weeks. I don't know what happens, Doc. He gets 3 sacks in a football game all of a sudden. Is this sustainable? Is this pass rush to you sustainable, not only against the Rams, which they're going to need more of a consistent pass rush like they did against Dak and the Cowboys, but just for the rest of the year? What's your confidence in the pass rush, Aiden, and the other side of Aiden? And you can even throw up the guys up front.
Yeah, listen. I think that, your eyes tell you what your eyes tell you. And I know, and always you got to preface it. No disrespect for the words I'm going to say coming out of my mouth. But when you got Jahmyr Gibbs, J-Mo, Amon-Ra, David Montgomery, and Jared Goff, that's something you can trust consistently. I ride the offense, and I say defense, hold on. Guys, your starting secondary is under 6 feet tall. And you saw what CeeDee Lamb was able to do. It's tough when you don't have the proper marriage of coverage and rush. Now, against backups, the Lions are good. Clearly, the Cowboys had a left tackle issue. No problems. But I do think that it's hard to predict when it has been so inconsistent. Aiden gets a lot of attention, and he's not at the level yet. He will be in a couple years, but he's not at the level yet where he can consistently beat double teams to get sacks like a Micah Parsons. He's good. He can take advantage of some opportunities when the talent at right tackle is not as good. That's fine. But I will say this defense just has to be opportunistic when possible. And like they've shown, Jack Campbell, I think you got to be led by your linebackers. Al-Quadin Muhammad getting 3 sacks is good, but that was not against one of the best offensive lines. So I'm of the opinion you hold on and you ride that offense. You figure out ways to score 35 points and give up 25, you'll win the Super Bowl. So you just got to figure out a way to make those key plays late. It's truly bend, don't break, and don't fall apart. But truly, it's hold on tight and hope nobody goes by the wayside. Al-Quadin Muhammad, well-deserved to get NFC Defensive Player of the Week. It's just we got to see it more often, more consistently. Against the Eagles, it wasn't there. Against the Giants, it wasn't as prevalent. And also, too, teams have figured out, okay, it's also the way that people describe it on film, and I don't know if I have a better way to describe it, is the Lions have a crush-the-can pass rush style. They don't have that speed, blow-by a tackle kind of guy. They want a bull rush, crush the can. And I think that, we're starting to see potentially, if you can find some speedy, twitchy defensive ends that can blow past a tackle, maybe you can get past those quarterbacks that get the ball out in like 2.5 seconds. Guys, it's clear. Football is not really rocket science. It's a game of chess. So if they know that the crush the can's coming, all the guys are doing, like the Eagles and the Packers, is just get the ball out quickly. Boom, boom, boom. Get it to your running game. Get it to your guys in space, and make it so that the Lions have to cover you. So it's a tough task, and that's why you need a James Houston on this team, but a guy that can play all 3 downs. James Houston is a 15-down guy and has a bunch of holes in his game. You need the sack talent of James Houston, but also the ability to stop the run. So hopefully in the draft, maybe that's going to be Ahmed Hassanin. He's more of that bull rush kind of guy, but he's got speed and he's got the ability to kind of adapt and be flexible. He's trying to learn all the pass rush moves as humanly possible. But I'm excited for, at least I do believe the Lions are aware, oh, shoot, we haven't been sacking the quarterback at the right amount of level, and the fans are pissed. I do think that they're going to address it further and understand that, yes, it's important to stop the run, but you got to find new avenues, maybe even new schemes to pressure the quarterback. And also, I think they could even use Jack Campbell and Derek Barnes even better to pressure quarterbacks.
Yeah, Doc, can I ask you, now that is it officially Rams week, like Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, all of that, what are your thoughts? I know we've probably had this conversation with you the last few weeks, but what are your thoughts on the whole Matthew Stafford thing with Detroit and all of that going into this week? How are we feeling about it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And just real fast, guys, look over my shoulder. Look, See that book there? That's a Bill Clinton book. I am well read. I read all philosophies, and what people do in their private lives, it's their business. Listen, if they're a bad person, they're a bad person. But here's the thing, guys, and I want you guys in the chat to open your mind so you could be a little bit more successful. What people do and what they espouse, you take all the good and you sift out the bad. It's real simple. If he chooses to be a certain way that you don't like, too bad. But I took a lot of good things that he wrote and don't come talk to me about anything until you told me you read 5 of his books wall to wall and then read the other side. So people, don't come with that lack of laziness and narratives. I took all the good out of these books, and anything that I don't need, I'm a good, decent person. And if that's the kind of comment you want to make, it shows what you're about. And it's really life. Take all the good. Like, listen, Sherrone Moore is a comedic genius. I'm taking all the good from him. He's a clown. And then all the bad, I'm going to ignore. That's how we look at things. And that's how you handle. You can read a bunch of different things and take little nuggets out of it. Do I support any of the things you're saying? Obviously not. Let's use common sense, people. But you don't shut out great ideas. Otherwise, you wouldn't listen to me. You'd be like, oh my God, he's a Spartan and he tells raunchy jokes. I'm not going to listen to him. But there's still a lot of good in the things that I say. Now, Matthew Stafford, my goodness, y'all are still hung up on Matthew Stafford. And of course, a guy like me is going to pick that apart. I wrote a direct opinion piece, which you guys liked and sort of didn't like. And I said, listen, the best thing that happened to this organization was Matthew Stafford quitting. And people are like so confused. They were like, I'm confused. What do you mean he quit? He got traded. No, man, here's the story and here's the facts. After 12 years, all that money, he quit. He couldn't handle anymore. Another rebuild was coming, and he said, get me out. So once he did that, I do not care about Matthew Stafford. I don't care that he won a Super Bowl. I don't care. My assessment in 2015, when I started the Detroit Sports Podcast, one of the first bold takes I had was, y'all love some quarterback that's never going to win you anything. And then you all said, no, it's the GM. It's this and that. It's this and that. And I said, guys, I don't care. My eyes tell me that dude is not leading you to a Super Bowl. And then 2017 happened. And I said, I don't care if he's the best thing since sliced bread. If you pay him $25 million, you will regret it. Everyone's like, you have to pay it, Doc. John, you're being ridiculous. John, oh, he can win a Super Bowl if you do this, and this. And I said in 2017, if you pay that money to him, it will be money that you flush down the toilet. And then in 2021, he cried in the owner's office and said, I can't handle another rebuild. I can't handle it. Get me out. Good, because it set forth winning in Detroit. Matthew Stafford represents SOL, losing. He represents all the things that were wrong. Do you have any good memories of Stafford? Other than, he was tough against the Browns.
He was one of the only
people that could play ball. But guess what? He's got the same amount of rings as you, the same amount of playoff wins as you. Jared Goff understood how, with a collective, that you could actually win some playoff games. So while Jared Goff is not as talented as Matthew Stafford, he has more on his resume, and I'd rather have him than Matthew Stafford. In my mind, congratulations. You quit. You should have been leading this rebuild. You, Matthew Stafford. They paid you. He should have led this rebuild. Doc? He quit. So in my humble opinion, I think that he became eradicated in my memory in 2021. And I said, thank you for doing that, because the general manager, Brad Holmes, used those draft picks to build the roster that actually can win something, gave you guys something to cheer about 2 times in the postseason. Stafford in 12 years got to the playoffs 3 times, and in those playoff games essentially did squat. And of course, it's a team game, but in the end, I'm happy he was gone, and I'm happy that I was proved right that he was never going to win anything here. And whatever the collective formula, how much we're all going to debate what level of blame he gets. I give it higher, some give it lower. That's fine, but he didn't win you nothing. Jared Goff at least wins you playoff games, and there's a little bit of hope that he can win you a Super Bowl. With Matthew Stafford, by 2014, when I started this podcast, I told y'all That dude doesn't pass the smell test. He turns it over too much. He's a gunslinger. He's just taking too much of the cap. He's just, preventing you from keeping a defense. And I never felt at any point after 2013, I don't know if it was the early Saints game in the playoffs, I never got the feeling with him as the signal caller, me. And I might be wrong, but I never got the feeling.
You were wrong.
I never got the feeling he was going to win you a Super Bowl. And that's what I yelled into a microphone. And I felt like, you know what? How distasteful is that to watch somebody that was here leave and then go have success elsewhere? It's a team game. And he said, hey, it's all about Stafford. That was my opinion.
No, well, he did the best. Listen, I'll ask you. It is a team game, right? What was Jared Goff his first year with the St. Louis Rams before Sean McVay was there?
I don't care.
Jeff Fisher was the head coach.
Why are we talking about the Rams?
Because my point is organization. When he was first drafted to the Rams, they didn't have Sean McVay. They were a disaster. He stunk. They get Sean McVay. They build around him. And Jared's like, hey, he's a good quarterback. He gets a good situation around him. It works out. I don't know how now it's like, well, Jared came from winning. He was with Sean McVay. And then Matthew had 1 year and they won a Super Bowl. Like,
wait a minute.
You were proven wrong. Matthew's always been talented. It was never a question of talent. I'll even ask the head coaches he had here in Detroit. How many of them got jobs after, Doc? I mean, what are we doing? We got their DCs or they're not in the league.
Jim Schwartz is a quality defensive coordinator. I think that he could be a head coach. Yeah, he's a solid defensive coordinator. And listen, I believe that 2014 team, remember, that team could have won a Super Bowl. All he had to do was come back against the Cowboys. People remember, and they have this false memory that call that went against the Lions still had a chance with an extra possession to go down the field and win the game. It didn't happen. So that was the Lions' closest chance in 2014. It didn't happen. And I just feel like that style of play, he also turned the ball over quite a bit. And here's the thing that was always unique. The Lions always started slow. And they were always forced to come back. They were always forced to, he got the opportunity to pad his stats because they were typically losing by a lot. And the numbers really were skewed. I just felt like the total, I don't know what it was to put into words, what it was that led me to believe that he just wasn't a winner. I just felt like at the key moments, what I saw on the field was a couple of too many turnovers and not taking advantage of other guys and also too, because you had Stafford, your general manager, Martin Mayhew at the time, felt like he needed to get him a tight end. And he got Ebron. If Matthew Stafford wasn't there, they could have had Aaron Donald. So maybe I'm projecting the fact that the Lions could have had a great all-time, all-world defense, but because you had this gunslinger that was taking all the money, it didn't happen. And you got Eric Ebron.
Well, they were losing Sue too, Doc. Why wouldn't they draft Aaron Donald? You're losing Sue. That's a stupid decision from Martin Mayhew. Absolutely.
But I also believe that Matthew Stafford was also culpable with all those turnovers that he had in key moments in games that
he wasn't perfect.
He was a gunslinger. He needed to, at the time, turn into a little bit more of a responsible game manager to help this football team win. He just couldn't do it. And listen, congratulations to him. He got the ultimate success, but we're still left here in Detroit picking up the pieces after a 12-year stint that produced nothing and a fan base that was so delusional that when he left, they cheer for him. I was like, okay. I was like, he literally walked in. I mean, whatever you believe, if you felt like he was, if we will always disagree about the culpability of Matthew Stafford, and that's fine. That's going to make the world go round. But one act you cannot defend. I would never, if I was an athlete and I'm in Detroit and these people are cheering me and they paid me all this money, and he could have been John Elway. He could have been a guy that won his first Super Bowl at 37 this year. I would never walk into an owner's office crying and be like, trade me. Are you kidding me? You set my family up. I don't care if you go through 50 rebuilds. I don't care if you hire 15 coaches. You hired me. There's a certain loyalty. And at that time, at the number one spot, he was given.
It's easy to say it on this side of the screen, Doc.
In 2017, he was rewarded with a contract for $25 million a year that he didn't earn. And
Doc, can I real quick? I haven't said anything yet. Real quick.
I would never
Can
quit.
I ask you a
He
question?
quit on you people. He quit
No.
on you, Booner. He quit on
No,
you.
no, no,
Jeff.
no, no,
He quit
no,
on
no,
everybody in the
Doc.
chat, and that was a wrap for me. He quit.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question real quick, because this is realistic, because you're looking at it in a weird delusional sense of, I would never do that because they give me life-changing money. Okay, you have to look at it into a sense of like, these guys, he was going to get life-changing money no matter what, right? Like anywhere he goes. That doesn't mean automatically you're loyal to them for the rest of your life. Now, let me ask you this. With the employer that gave you a chance, if they stop putting opportunities around you to help make your career great, and you noticed, hey, we're not winning, I'm not being successful, I'm doing everything I can, and you are very successful, Doc, you are, but you're doing, say you keep doing this, but they're taking things away from the website, they're not putting your stories out, say they're taking things away. It's the same with like Jeff and I. If we signed with a network, or we signed with someone and they gave us life-changing money, but in 4 years they're like, hey, we're pushing you out down the street, we're still paying you money, but we're not going to give you all the, the resources needed. We're not going to we're no longer going to help you, do what you have to do at a high level. At some point, you're going to be like, all right, I do appreciate you for money. Hey, can I get out of my contract? Can I go somewhere else? I would like to go be successful somewhere else because I'm not having success here. It's like that in the real world. It's like that with most jobs. It's like that with families. It's like that with a lot of different things in life. Just because someone gives you an opportunity doesn't mean, hey, until I'm 100 years old and I die, I owe you my life. You know what that's called? Hold on. You know what that's called? That's called signing a deal with the devil. So you should be able to, as a human, be able to go to an owner, be able to go to your employer and say, hey, this isn't working anymore. Like, I love you guys. I love the city. I love what you've done for me. I appreciate everything. Hey, man, like both sides, like this just is not working anymore. I think we both know. And I appreciate everything you've done. And I don't think like you're making it out to be like Matthew Stafford's the devil. It's like, no, man, like he was here for 12 years. Like he's gone through to hell and back for this city multiple times. He doesn't have to sit here for 20 years until he dies. And he doesn't owe you anything, Doc. He doesn't owe me anything. He did that for 12 years. So for you to sit up here and preach and be like, we changed his life. Ford's changed his life. It's arrogant. Like, it's so arrogant to the fact where it's like, what gives us the right to be like, he's allowed? Like, no, you don't. None of us do. Because in every job, it might end up being like, hey, I've been here for 30 years. It's not working anymore. I want to go do something else. Yeah, as a human, go ahead. Thank you for your 12 years. You did everything for us.
I respect your story. In that context,
you just hate the guy, which is like,
no.
don't use a fake example. It's wrong when you just hate the guy.
I came up with an assessment in 5 years, had to wait 7 more, that I didn't feel a winner. Now, my situation's different if you want to put it in
I'm talking about in general, not just your situation. I don't want you to start saying how.
But in my situation, it was different in that, to put it into context for you, basically when I showed up at my current employer in 2019, I immediately won a championship. So
again, I'm not talking about your situation. Just like, you were great. I'm saying in general, when these situations approach.
I will get to that in general part. But for me, it was different in that they were like, holy cow, we won with you. What did you need to make this continue to succeed? And I said, I need A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And they said, absolutely, we'll give you everything that you want. You won us a title. So I'm in a different boat. I'm a winner. Now, in my situation, I got lucky in that
I gotta get off the screen.
They give me what I want every time I want it. That will never happen given the current climate that I'm in. Now, Stafford, in that position, I feel like as a leader, and I respect, Booner, your point, but me, I'm a go down with the ship guy. If the Lions drafted me 1, and my only goal would have been, and I always think about this too, if they called me, what would I say to Brad Holmes if someone said, hey, you got drafted? I would say, my ring size is 9.5. They'd be like, 9.5? Why are you telling us your ring size? Why are you telling us your ring size? That's the size I'm going to wear when I win you guys a ring. And then I'm going down with the ship. I'm saying, until the day comes that you don't want me, I'm going to work and work and work 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We fight together. That's the definition of team. And that's why in my role, The 3 guys I've worked with for 7 years, and I've never cut anybody's hours. I've never done anything. It's called loyalty. It's called leadership. It doesn't, hey, oh my God, there's a new girl over there. I'm not Sherrone Moore. I don't jump at the new hot girl. I stick with the girl that gave me the opportunity to have 2 kids. I'm loyal. I would go, Dan, Brad, I'm with you until my career ends, and I will work day and night until we get this ring. And I wear a 90.5. We're going to get this ring. That's the difference. I'm a leader. He's not. Period.
Yeah. I'm a,
Period.
you're a go down with the ship guy. And by the way, as in the position I'm in now, we're going down with the ship, obviously. But if I'm an employee, like I'm gonna do what's best for me and my family guy. That's what I do. I think that's how you have to. That's how I would approach it if I as an employee.
There's no I in team. Hefe.
No.
T-E-A-M.
Hold on. Who's loyal? Because by the way, you can get fired, you can get traded, you can get fired without knowing about it, or at least finding out about it abruptly. So I'm going to do what's best for me. You know, now now once you're in a position of leadership where it's your company, then yeah, you're not going to get fired. So you go down with the ship. You're loyal. But as an employee, like you don't owe anybody that type of loyalty. Where if you have a better opportunity that comes around, and I'm talking better in all areas. I'm not just saying you're making more money, you leave for money. I'm saying in all areas, the Rams was a better opportunity all around. I mean, as an organization, from coaching standpoint, and they won right away.
How does that help the Detroit Lions?
It doesn't, but I'm just saying from Matthew's standpoint, Doc, let me say this. Okay, Doc, let me tell you this. All right.
Good for Matthew Stafford, bad for the Detroit Lions. I live in Detroit, so I don't care about what happens with the Rams or him.
No, but I'm just telling you, I'm just defending. That's why I don't have a problem. The man making I'll say in LA, I mean, he was proven right. He's probably going to have a Hall of Fame career just in LA. He might have 2 Super Bowls and an MVP. I mean, I would say he'd probably better off making that decision, Doc. 2 Super Bowls and MVP potentially. Imagine that.
Congrats to him. But in Detroit, they have no ring still, and he was not part of the. He was not part of the. You're either part of the solution or part of the problem. And for me, he's part of the problem. Period.
That's fair. I see people in the chat like, "Oh, Doc, these guys don't understand what Doc's saying." God, like, come on, right, Doc, you can't tell me.
Nobody is fair. I'm team Detroit Lions. You're team Matthew Stafford. There's a difference. I think most fans of the Lions.
I'm team Detroit Lions. I'm team Detroit Lions, but I know when to be objective. Like this is probably my
objectively. Opinion, he left when the times were the toughest.
I think if you ask any NFL fan, being unbiased, they would probably be like, "I'm on Matthew Stafford's side."
The times are tough. You got
that's so wrong, Doc.
You got an owner.
I think that's just you being a fan. You're just being a fan. You can admit that for once. You're being a fan. You're not being a reporter. You're being a fan in that situation.
Whatever you need, Sheila, I will be here with you side by side.
That's you being a fan.
Get this right.
That's you being a fan. Like you're mad about it because you're being a fan. That's not you're a Detroit Lions fan.
He did not win the Lions a Super Bowl. There's one objective. There's one mission. And if you look at it from a military point, there's one mission, Super Bowl. Did he accomplish that mission? No. Next.
No, you're right. But at some point,
you feel that way about Barry Sanders or Calvin Johnson?
Mission not accomplished.
So you feel that way with Barry too? You blame Barry for everything.
When he departed, I was not thrilled in the manner in which he left. But at that point, he was 10 years in.
But I'm a Barry fan. That's so ridiculous. Be consistent at least.
If Barry would have went to Dallas, you all would have been wearing Dallas.
Be consistent at least. Be consistent. Be consistent.
Like, oh my God, I'm a Detroit Ram. I'm a Detroit Cowboy. I'm going to support Barry Sanders. He's with the Cowboys now. No, it's simple. As an objective bystander of sports, when someone plays for the Lions, it's all good. When they leave, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's you being a fan. So we came to an agreement. That's you being a fan. Like you're to being a fan. That's all it is.
Team Detroit Lions. Team objective caught or objective failed.
If you're a team Detroit Lions, then you think that the Forts did everything right during the 0-16 years.
Forever. Failure. He'll be in the failure category among most fans forever.
I mean, this guy, Doc, just keeps talking. This guy doesn't know how to have a noble conversation, a back and forth, stopping and no back and forth.
Did Matthew
still going?
Win a Super Bowl?
He won't stop.
Next,
no, you know what the reality is? We'll move on.
The reality is he quit, and somebody else took over the job.
No, the reality is there's two sides of this, and it's like
There's
freaking
one
politics.
side. Mission
No, there's
accomplished or
two
mission
sides,
failed?
and it's like politics. No one's willing to even talk. So it's just there's no point. There's the side in which people defend Matthew or can sympathize with why he left and understand it, and then there's some people that just say the guy apparently just is the reason for everything that bad happened to the organization, and he deserved to leave. So there's whatever. We'll move on. We obviously disagree. Let's
Jeff,
start.
real quick, one last question. When the year that Stafford left, was he successful the first year when he
We've
left?
already covered that. He doesn't.
I know. I just want to just confirm one more time. Just one more time.
I don't care.
He left. Oh yeah. So maybe it was the organization's fault. Okay, we can move on.
No, he doesn't believe that. He thinks
No, it's a fact though. It's
he
whether
says-
you want to
he
believe
said
it or
he
not.
doesn't
It's a
care.
fact.
I don't care.
So
No, it's a
when he
fact.
comes
Yeah, it's
to
a fact.
town,
It's
he
funny when
comes to
facts
town
get thrown
next,
at
I
Doc.
want
He
the
just has nothing to
classroom.
say.
I was in the camp that would have booed him. That's all. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, I would have put him too, but I still respect. Like, I mean, I'm not mad that he left. Like, I could see why the guy was like, "Hey, man, 12 years of this," and then he wins a Super
How
Bowl
about this?
instantly.
How about this? Let's see where Doc's at now with it. The respect he has for this team and Matthew. Go ahead, Doc. What do you think?
Doc
about
probably
the
thinks
Rams
that they're going to
matchup?
lose. The Lions win.
Go ahead, Doc. What do you think about
I'm
this matchup?
bailing on this one, man. I'm trying, like I said last week, head and heart, man. I want this team to compete. I want them, but in a team sport, I have a hard time as a professional looking at it and saying, okay, my first thought is with my head. My cognitive brain says you lost Brian Branch. Kirby's going to be his first game back, maybe potentially. The Rams are at home, 10-win team. They got Kieran Williams. They got Blake Corum, who is playing very well. Got me 27 points on my fantasy last week. They have Jared Verse. They have Kobe Turner, who I respect greatly, and they got an opportunity. But being that we can shift like a chameleon, Matthew Stafford's ass. So my prediction will be the Lions are going to win because he's going to throw the ball to Meek Robertson because he sucks. He's a gunslinger, and Matthew Stafford is an embarrassment to that position. And so now that he has to have a big game, what's going to happen? The Lions are going to step up. They're desperate. They know what this is about. It's an opportunity. I do think this team is loyal to Jared Goff, who will stick with the Detroit Lions. So Matthew Stafford will be the reason the Lions lose. They will, Matthew Stafford will be the reason the Lions win. And here's why. It's going to be back and forth. Nakua's going to get his. Devontae Adams is going to get his. They're all going to get theirs. But this is going to be a gritty, down-to-the-wire game. And at the very last moment, who's going to blink first? It's not going to be Goff. Goff will manage the game perfectly and limit the turnovers. And Stafford will have 3 interceptions. 2 of them to Jack Campbell and 1 of them to Meek Robertson. And Stafford, the gunslinger, will make everybody happy because the whole world is predicting that the Lions are going to lose. I feel differently. I feel like they're going to have a big win and they're going to have a letdown in the coming weeks after. I feel like, the Lions lore in my mind has always been win the games you're not supposed to and then lose the games where everybody thinks you're going to win. So maybe they have a great opportunity to take advantage of that bum Stafford and they lose to the Steelers. But at this point in time,
but it's embarrassing, bro.
LIONS, go Lions, come back with 9 wins and take advantage of that traitor.
Whatever happened to reporters not being biased towards teams they cover, man? Jeff, I don't know, man. It's a world.
Wait, hold on. Okay, wait, Booner. I respect that.
Man, I don't know. I'm not a reporter, by the way. I just want people to know that.
I respect what you're saying, but open your eyes.
Content
and read
creator.
the first word that's on my page: entertainment. I am a Detroit sports podcaster. Don't call me a reporter. Don't call me an insider.
But when you do articles, you're like, I'm a reporter. I'm a journalist.
I'm a podcaster. I'm a reporter. I'm an insider. I'm a
reporter.
I'm all of it. I'm all of it.
So then, if you're not a reporter, Doc, hold on.
Some boring journalist who just
guy
tells
doesn't
you,
stop.
I think that Matthew Stafford is such a great quarterback.
So if you're not a reporter,
my opinion is shaped by the fact that I don't like that he left the team. Period. If you don't like
that guy do the show,
that's too bad. I am not a traditional reporter. I think within 5 minutes of knowing me, Booner, you would realize I am not a standard reporter. I'm out here on my Twitter page making ding-dong jokes. Come on, bro. I am not a reporter.
He did.
Can I talk now? No.
I make dick jokes on the internet. You want to classify me as a reporter?
Still going.
I am way beyond a reporter. I'm a podcaster. I'm an entertainer. I'm somebody that is an alarmist. I swing wildly. I am a John Maakaron.
We need to work on the back and forth a little bit, Doc. Here, when I start talking, when I start talking.
Booner, you want to pigeonhole? You want to call me a journalist? You want to call me a journalist? I am the furthest thing from a reporter in the history of reporting. That's not me. I'm a loud ass that tells people what he thinks. That's what I do. You can't put me in that category. That is not me. I'm all those things wrapped up into one. I'm John Maakaron, baby. If you want that, call up Corey and tell him to, drone on for 20 minutes. I am not that.
Hey, that's our guy. That's our guy, Corey.
I like Corey too.
I love Corey. Listen, can we, Doc? We got to work on the back and forth of talking here, man. We got to. And you know what I mean? It's like a little boom, 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 boom. It's like pinball. Like, I'm talking again.
Where would you start thinking I'm a reporter? Where would you start thinking that based on my actions?
When you write articles and you tell me that you're a reporter, and when I say stuff about you're like, Booner, I'm a reporter. I can't ask this. I can't wear Lions gear. I can't do this.
Well, yeah,
if you're not a reporter, go ahead, wear your Lions gear into Allen Park. Why don't you? Oh no, you can't because you're a reporter.
I'm a reporter.
What is he going to get?
I'm a reporter, Booner. I'm a goddamn reporter. Who wears this? I'm a reporter.
Why don't you wear that into Allen Park then? Why don't you wear that? Hey,
you know me 5 seconds. You know that doesn't pigeonhole me in 4 seconds of that word.
You're not a reporter. If you're not a reporter,
the Doc.
Mute him. I'm going to mute him.
Don't label me.
I'm going to start muting. You're going to start muting.
I am not pigeonholed into anything.
I'm going to start muting.
5 minutes. I can be a fan the next minute. I can be a columnist the next minute. That's the secret to my success. I am not a person you label of everdom. You don't label a Doc. I'm the Doc.
Doc, you
don't label me. Period. You can't label me.
Doc, I'm going to start muting you.
You can't label me. I'm
the jump.
Podcaster. I'm a reporter, Vito. I'm a reporter, Booner.
He called me the wrong name now. He's. I'm gonna mute him, Jeff.
Because it's to the point where you don't understand what you're talking about.
Doc.
He's removed. He's in timeout right now. I'm gonna say this. I don't think Doc understands the beginning of this conversation was about him being a fan, about why he's being a fan towards the Matthew Stafford stuff.
I mean, did you see that hat?
Yeah, I saw that, and then it turned into, well, I'm going to predict the game. Doc's gotten mad at me for calling him a fan before, but now all of a sudden he wants to be on the fan side, and he's like, I'm not a reporter. He's gotten mad because I didn't call him a reporter. Now he's like, I'm not a reporter. And then he puts the hat on. I think the whole thing of this is if Doc wants to prove he's not a reporter, I think he has to wear the hat into Allen Park.
He said he's a fan reporter. He's named like 5
You
fans.
can't be a fan, man. You can't be both.
Let's bring Doc. He's got this.
I'm bringing him back. He's back. You're back, Doc. You need it. I need it. You gotta allow us to talk. You gotta allow me to talk. If we're gonna have a back and forth, we gotta.
Would you like me to be a reporter, Booner?
I think what you do is already good, but then I don't think I think for the whole time we've spoken to you for years, you've been a reporter.
Would you like me to be a reporter?
Doc, you've been a reporter.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden tonight, you're like, I'm a fan. You've switched. That's my point. You've gotten mad at me when I don't call you a reporter for a year. Now all of a sudden you're like, I'm a fan. I'm not a reporter.
I'm a credentialed reporter, Booner, and I'm very well respected in these parts. So
you being biased and saying Jack Campbell's going to get 2 interceptions because you're a fan.
I'm biased. Jack Campbell does not impress you with how he's played. He
has. I've been the first one on the scene with all of that. I said 2 years ago this guy's going to be a first-team All-Pro, and I got laughed at by you.
No.
Yeah.
It was by me.
It was by Jeff. Sorry. Yeah.
Exactly. It's okay. Booner.
Not. It was I
respect your point.
I was a year early. It was last year. Yeah.
Give me 1 second on this. Listen, Booner, when I give a take you don't like, that doesn't mean you label me as a reporter.
No, it's not that you don't like. It's a clear, like, I'm a fan.
When I prefaced it, I said that I can speak from the head, which is logically to give you the stats, or the heart. I chose at a time when people need to be cheered up because Sherrone Moore can't keep his ding dong in his pants. I chose to say, I think I want to be able to share my feelings from the heart. And I think my feelings from the heart is based on the fact that we had a discussion about Matthew Stafford. I'm not a fan. So I think that me speaking to you, I gave my prediction that I wanted to share on the air boldly, which I will also print, that I think the Lions are going to win. And guess what? I have the right to do that. And I would say, out of respect for me, honestly, hyperbole and all that, the label that only I truly respect for me, whatever you want to call it, reporter, insider, NFL, this and that, all I ever want to be known as, that's it, is a Detroit sports podcaster. That's it. The word that means the value the most to me is I'm a podcaster and a damn good one. Every other word I don't care about. I don't know the values. I don't care about the values. I will be an insider reporter.
So why do you get mad at me when I say? I mean,
those words don't mean shit to me. The only word that means something to me is I want you to call me. This is a good podcaster. I like what he talks about. That's all. That's all I am. Is a simple podcaster.
Doc, before we get to
podcast and covers the NFL, I'm a podcaster.
Before we get to Mailbag, what's your score prediction then? What'd you write about?
Stafford will have 3 interceptions, and the Lions are going to win 24-23.
Watch this happen, too. Watch this happen, dude.
It's not going to happen.
Doc's going to be
24-23.
You just say, look at that hat.
Lions, and I hope your audience understands who they're talking to and don't misappropriate me like Booner has so rudely done.
Oh, I just go based off of what you tell me. You just switch every month. You're like that guy in that movie. Have you ever seen that movie Split or is that Jeff? Is that movie? The guy has like 12 split.
Yeah, I think it's called Split.
That's Doc.
I'm a podcaster who's wearing an oversized head on your show. So whatever you want to call me, you can call me. But I would like to be valued
Jeff,
as a podcaster.
hold on. Doc, Doc, hold on. Between Jeff and I, Jeff, do you remember when Doc got mad at me because we talked about clickbait? He's like, I'm a reporter. I'm not a clickbaiter. I am a reporter. And he went on like an hour rant about how he's a reporter. And yeah, just now it's so weird how life changes.
I report on the Lions, but
it's weird how life changes in different months. There's different personalities and what we want to be.
That's this personality today. Do you like this personality or no?
The hat's throwing me off incredibly right now.
It is. I'm not going to lie.
I was one of the first to own this piece of property, so I'm very proud of it.
That is insane, dude.
It's insane. And listen, because I don't want to be known. Okay, if you weigh, are you a clickbait artist or a reporter? I'd rather be a reporter, and I can defend that. But would you say would I rather be?
So would you say Matthew Stafford, Jack Campbell, 2 interceptions, Matthew Stafford 3 touchdowns? That's not like clickbait. Like people are like, "Whoa, what is this guy talking about?" Oh yeah, 100%. Okay.
Listen. Okay.
Let's do ask the Doc questions. We got to move on.
Fast. Listen. Again, I'm going to share this with you. The reason I can act like this and tell ding dong jokes and say whatever the hell I want was in 2019, I came to the company I'm at with an audience. So if in 2019, I printed something, there was an audience. So there is no clickbait because I don't need any other clicks. I built the audience from 13 to 19, and it wasn't clickbait. It's just being a podcaster. That's all I am. And guess what? I don't need to bait anybody. I'm a damn good psychologist also, and people will pay attention to the shit that I say. And that's just the way it is and the way it'll always be. It'll just be that way.
Okay, you know what, Doc? I got a question for you from Dante. I want to ask you. All right, and it's a Michigan State question. He's a Michigan State fan. Max, is it Bula?
Max. Max. It's Max Bula. Bula.
There's the reporter and Doc coming out.
That's the reporter.
He's coming back. It's his alma mater. He's at Michigan State. To be the linebacker co-DC coordinator for the Spartans. What do you think about that? The staff that Fitz is assembling over there.
Thank you, Dante. I did not hear that. That's awesome news. I think that teams that have a good culture have people that care about the program. I care deeply about Michigan State, and for them to get somebody that I think in Pat Fitzgerald that will bring some toughness, some grit, and bring back, clearly, if this is the case with Max Bula, I think that there's an opportunity to be able to bring back some of the remnants of the good times. I'm very happy to hear that. Thanks for sharing. You made me happy.
There you go. Dante with the 5. Doc, we appreciate the holiday. Good luck. You're not going to LA, are you?
No, man. I would, if the weather reports are true that Saturday's going to be like some death storm, I'd be having a heart attack. I can't handle flying, and I'm not good at it at all.
Wait, death storm here?
I don't know if I was hearing it right. Like we're going to get like 4 or 5 inches of snow on Saturday. Maybe I was wrong. But
what, again?
Check the weather. Check
I don't see any snow here.
Oh, good. It could be passing, could be earlier. Thank goodness. I'm not the best weatherman, that's for sure.
I was going to say that scared the shit out of me. Doc, we appreciate the hell out of you, my friend. We'll catch you next Wednesday to recap it. Maybe you're right. Maybe Matthew just absolutely falls apart.
Matthew falls apart, gives the Lions the much-needed win, and I'll come back here with this hat on. And Booner, you know I love you guys. We can go back and forth.
I love you, Doc.
Truly, all I am is a very simple term. The label that I love is I'm a podcaster. That's it. I use my words.
I will never forget that now going forward.
I'm a podcast, and it's what I wear the hat every show. Detroit Sports Podcast. That's what I represent. Reporter is just something that you could classify as what I'm bringing you information from the Lions to the masses. But I am a podcaster, and it's pretty clear that I am of this ilk, a radio type personality. I'm a podcast personality, and I appreciate that you platform this person to share his opinions with you, even though you may disagree. But I know you support Sherrone Moore, and I know that you're having a dark time, but take this opportunity to learn and grow, that when you support people that can't keep their ding dong in their pants, it might end up being a bad thing for you. So make sure you vet the people that you support, Booner, because they're not that much of outstanding citizens. And hopefully you scream louder than you did at me to clean up that Michigan program. Michigan State started first. Hopefully Michigan follows suit. Peace.
There you go. DOC, John Maakaron.
See you, Doc.
Covers the Lions for sports.
What a Doc segment.
Yeah, he's a character.
Man, make sure everyone hits the like button too. By the way, we have 160 people in here. Make sure let's get 100 likes here by the end of the show.
Yeah, let's do it. We had a lot of new people joining the show today, kind of joining for the Sherrone, whether it's Sherrone Moore or Lions Talk. So we appreciate the support here. I think we're almost at 100 likes. I think we need like 14. So if you're watching, hit the like button. Hit the like button on the stream. Hit the like button on the stream. We need 14 more, which is doable with the amount of people we have here. So and it would mean the world to us. Helps us out, pushes us out in the algorithm. So it's massive. So hit that like button, and we'll get to some mailbag here with 5 minutes left. So drop your mailbag questions, and we will answer them, whatever they may be. Chef, I see the first one will start up. If the Lions make the playoffs as a 7 seed, you really believe they can win games in January playing in cold places like Philadelphia and Green Bay? I think they can win in cold places.
Yeah.
But can they beat those teams straight up? Like, I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation. I don't know.
I think the confidence level is more so just on
just
the offensive line, just the play, just all of that in general. Can you win you're going to have to win 4 straight games, wild card, divisional, NFC championship, and the Super Bowl. Like, it's more so like, can this team win 4 straight? Do they have the talent when it comes? Like, they do have a lot of good talent, but it's like with the injuries, the offensive line right now still trying to figure things out. It's like the confidence level of that I think is different. I mean, they've won in cold weather quite a bit, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I think that narrative's kind of gone. I think it's more so just like last year they were undefeated on the road.
It's less about the cold, more about the matchup. Am I confident they can win 4 games in a row against playoff teams? Not right now. No, I'm not. I've said that already though. So yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, they've beaten, like Schiff said, they beat Green Bay in the rain. They've beaten Green Bay in shitty weather. You know, it is what it is. Let's see here. AG's burner. Fisher CG Sports says Jahmyr Gibbs earned himself serious Offensive Player of the Year consideration with how good he's played lately, and JT and CMC sort of slowing down. I have him in the top 4 right now. I think that's about where he is right now, to be honest.
Yeah, I think top 4.
I don't think he'll win it, but I think he's in the race. You know, top 4.
He probably would be a finalist, you would think?
Well, JT, CMC, JSN, and then I guess, yeah, Jahmyr.
Yeah, because I think right now, I want to check. Maybe I could be off here a little bit. I want to see, like, he has how many yards? About 14. He has about 1,500 plus yards. I think CMC might almost be at 1,700 total.
I think Bijan, if Bijan keeps playing, he might be up there too if how he finishes the year. He's 600 receiving yards, Bijan, on top of 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
So if he has a big, like, couple games, like I don't think he ain't going to be obviously win it, but he could be someone they kind of throw in there. Puka, another one I just saw in the chat. You know? Yeah, so yeah, he's deserved at least to be considered for sure. Mailbag Jesse says, do you think outside the lines will do a Wolverine Secrets hit piece like they did to MSG after the Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I listen,
Probably.
yeah.
At some point, I bet. At some point, it's gonna. I mean, there's gonna be documentaries and things about what's happening.
That stuff's a whole. I mean, that was. I remember when that
Yeah.
news first happened. That was
It's
insane.
huge. That was massive, dude. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be things that
By the way,
happen.
why am I added in that? Like, this is the problem.
Why? Yeah, you're
like,
at it. I'm not at. Why is this even a thing though? Like, why is Jesse's always doing this? Like, trying to like compare. Like, what? Like, it just so like it always just again. This is that thing, Jeff, where it's like it always comes back to Michigan State. Like, dude.
Second, does JMO
cares?
JMO Puka Gibbs all score Sunday?
JMO Puka Gibbs. Yeah, I don't hate that. I think Devontae Adams scores. I would do Devontae Adams, Kyron Gibbs.
Save that. Write that down.
That'd be mine. Kyron, Devontae, and Gibbs.
Write that
That'd
down.
be my three.
AG's Burner Mailbag. 3 keys to the game for the Lions
Tomorrow.
That'll be tomorrow.
Keys to victory tomorrow.
Yeah, we're doing the. Gary says, why does Sherrone Moore like sex more than winning?
No comment, man.
I don't know.
Do you think I can ask the people about my phone? Do you think anyone in the chat has an idea how to fix my phone? Do you think we have any like
what's going on with your
phone nerds in the? Do we have any phone nerds in the chat? If we get a couple yeses, I've been this whole show of me being on and off the show. I've just been panicking about my phone.
I'm
seeing if anyone puts in there like we have a phone nerd. One person's like, yes, I've been waiting my whole life to like answer and crunch.
Your phone's an SOS essentially. You don't know how to
dude. I just keep getting SOS. I got the new iPhone like a week ago, and this randomly today, it's on SOS, and I've restarted it a million times. I've tried everything that it says to do, and it just keeps going back to SOS.
Well, I've had that phone. My phone went through that a while ago. I ended up fixing it, but I forgot how I did it.
I don't know what to do. And it's like I look at I have AT&T. I go to look to see if there's like an outage, no outage. And it's like, what do I do? Like call AT&T, like what's going on? And then the people I'm on the phone plan with, I'm like, hey, is it the phone plan? And they're like, no, it's working perfectly fine for me.
People are saying go to an Apple store.
I want to go to an Apple store though, man. I want my phone to work. This is crazy. What do they do at an Apple store?
Well, they have Apple. It's like Geek Squad at Best Buy, but it's like, what do they call it at Apple?
Trey said call the support. The problem is I can't call Apple support because I can't make phone calls, outgoing calls. So I don't know. Maybe
call me.
I FaceTimed you. I can use Wi-Fi and text and call.
Yeah, you got it.
People are saying go to the store and get a new SIM. That just seems so I do work downtown tomorrow, so I'm gonna be downtown Detroit. They got that new Apple store.
Got to swing in there.
So I'm gonna have to have my lunch, hit the roll over there.
We appreciate you all. By the way, hit the like button on the way out. I think we just hit 100 likes, so that's good. We hit our goal. Also, Crunch Time Gear.
So unfortunate, man.
Crunch Time Gear on the store. On the freaking store. Look at that. I mean, we got it's comfortable. It's nice. Go get it. officialctsports.com for Christmas. You got a loved one that likes the Lions. There's stuff on there on the store. We'll be live tomorrow. As always, we appreciate you all. We'll catch you guys then.
Love you guys.
Peace.